I'm so happy to report to you that I am closer to my vision of serving my first 100 women inside of my coaching community. And so, as promised, I am coming to you with updates on this entrepreneurial journey. I'm giving you the highs and the lows. I'm giving you the peaks and the valleys. And if you are following along with me, you would have seen that last week I created a video where I was sharing how I went 2 weeks without any signups, right? But I still showed up and I still stepped into my God given purpose because I know that my business is my purpose. I know that my business is my assignment. So even with no signups, I still wasn't focusing on so much of the goal, right? Or I should say, I wasn't focusing on the how, but I was really truly focusing on the who, right? I moved that H and I brought it over to the front and I said, listen, wait, did I say that right? No, I moved the H from the beginning and I slipped it over to the who, right? Whatever, y'all know what I mean. And so I literally had to switch that H around and not focus on the how it was going to get done, but truly focusing on the who. Who am I glorifying first and foremost? Who am I called to serve? I'm focusing on the women that I'm called to serve, and I'm focusing on who I'm becoming in the process. And so that was the synopsis of that video. And I just really wanted to share that point because it's like maybe you are on your journey right now, your entrepreneurship journey, and you're probably not making sales, right? You probably got into it. Obviously, we get into business to make sales, to serve others, and it's like sometimes it's hard when you are going weeks without any sales. It can be hard, but I just want to encourage you on your journey. All right. And so, as promised, I came with another update, and I'm happy to report, like I said, that I am 2 women closer to my goal of 100. And I'm just so honored and so privileged. And I just really wanted to share something that one of them said to me, or like she commented in the community, and she says, I came across Janelle on YouTube and was instantly inspired and moved to join this community. You don't even know how that made me feel. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that just lit my heart up on fire. And I'm just like, thank you, Jesus. Like, this is what I'm doing it for. Like, I want to truly inspire, right? I want to motivate. I want to transform. I want to empower women to truly step into their God given purpose, discover their purpose, and to be able to monetize their purpose, right? Create multiple streams of income through creating multiple digital products and making sure that they align with their God-given purpose. Because if it doesn't, it's like you're not going to really have that fulfillment. Okay. And so for those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Janelle Renee. I am your faithologist, certified faith-based life and business coach, and I help working moms, right? I help working moms, like I said, to discover their purpose and to profit passively from their purpose. And so yeah, I wanted to jump into today's video where I'm going to be discussing the six tips for a simplified sales strategy, right? And so I have been an entrepreneur for over 3 years, but I'm coming from a product-based business, right, to now more service-based and digital. And so I've been doing the service-based digital just this year. And it's just been so empowering. And I'm like, man, I really just want to reach back and to help as many women as I can to do the same. Because I know firsthand what it's like to feel stuck in a career, knowing that God has more for your life, knowing that something's missing, like there's this inner void. I used to go to work and like clock in, and my heart, my stomach would sink. Like I just knew God had more for me. There was an inner void that nothing could really fill. I was making good money, right? I was going on vacation. I was trying, like I was doing all the things. I had money. I had, my beautiful home. I had my luxury car. I had all the things, but I just didn't have that inner peace. And that inner peace comes when you're truly walking in your God-given purpose. And so that is my passion. That is my purpose, really, to help other working moms to step into their purpose. And so I just wanted to share these 6 simple sales strategies that I have that has helped me. And I just want to pour out and to help you as well. And so the first one that I really wanted to share with you is having the right mindset, right? And so you have to understand, and I'm looking down at my notes so I don't forget anything because I'm not editing this video. It's just going up just like this, all right? And so you have to understand that selling isn't sleazy. It actually is serving. And so my coach actually taught me that. And I was just like, oh my God, That is so good. Because when we think of sales, we think of like those sleazy car salesmen. No offense to any car dealers or car salesmen out there. But it's just like, or okay, better example. Maybe like sometimes, okay, when you're in BJ's or Costco and you see like there those home improvement people that be trying to get you to sign up for new windows, new roofs and all that. And so it's like you know it's coming. You know they want to sell you. So what do? You just look down at your phone, or you'll like walk the other way so that just to avoid them, right? And so this is typically what we think about when we think of sales, but it doesn't have to be like that. You need to shift your mindset around sales and really understand that when you're selling, you are truly serving. You're serving the men or the women or whoever you are called to serve. And so you are doing a service, right? So it is actually a disservice to them if you're not selling. If you have something, if you have a tool, if you have a gift, a talent, a skill that can help someone else, it is selfish of you not to sell. It is selfish of you not to sell. All right. And so, man, I know there's a scripture, and I wish I had pulled that scripture up, but I know like the Bible does tell us that. Let me see, because I'm not editing this, so I apologize, but I really want to pull up that verse, Bible scripture, not selling. Because I remember even in when they during the famine, Joshua, when they had they stored up for 7 years. Joshua sold the wheat, right? He sold. He didn't give it away. Let's see here. Where is it? No, that's not it. I'm not finding it, but I know it's somewhere in the Bible. Forgive me. But anyway, yes, selling is truly serving. If you're not selling, if you have a solution to someone's problem, it is your obligation, right? It is your obligation to serve them. It's your obligation to give them that solution. Don't allow them to continue to suffer in a place where they don't need to suffer. If you have the solution for their problem, sell it to them, right? And so you are truly doing them a disservice by not doing so. All right. And so that's number one, right? That was the first thing, shifting your mindset, understanding that selling is truly serving. All right. And then the second tip I wanted to give to you for a more simplified sales strategy is mastery, right? You have to understand, like, okay, so right now in this day and age, we understand that there's a whole big MRR like pandemic going around. And I think like a lot of people, they get sucked into this, buy a course, resell the course, and you're going to make money, right? We see all these, you see all these income claims all over the internet of all these people making all this money from a course that they didn't have to create. They didn't have to, spend or waste any time creating. And for me, like, I couldn't get behind it because it's like, you know what, like, I feel like honestly, like my whole calling is to help you to create. Like God is a creator and he created you in his image. And there's a trial that you have overcome. There's a trial that you have triumphed over, right? I call it my treasure trial formula. There's a trial that you have triumphed over, and you need to create a trail. That trail is your business, right? Create a trail to help someone else. What is the 3 steps or the 4 steps or the 5 steps or the 1 step that you took to overcome this trial? Right? And literally, this is your business. Then you're going to go out and testify about it, right? You're going to testify about it. You're going to share. You're going to say, listen, I have a trail to help you to overcome, to walk through that trial that you're going through. I've already triumphed over it, and I'm going to teach you the way I did so. And then in turn, the treasures come, right? And so yeah, so you have to understand mastery. You cannot sell something like if you don't truly believe in the product that you're selling, it's going to come off. Like people, it doesn't matter what you say. Like people can sense your energy behind the camera, behind, any type of phone device or anything. Like they can sense whether or not you truly believe in what it is that you have to offer. And so because I've mastered what I'm selling, I've mastered it because I've lived it, right? And so what I'm selling is a CPR framework. I'm literally selling a 3-step framework that the Lord literally took me through to be able to redesign my entire life, going from miserable and stuck in a career that I was so unfulfilled in to now living out my God-given calling, right? And I literally walk you through the steps. The first step is to realign with your creator for clarity. That is number one, because no one, if anyone is selling you, even the idea of discovering your purpose without seeking God, your creator first, right there, red flag. You already know that's not going to work. Only your creator can tell you why he created you. And so you have to understand that the first and foremost step that you have to do is to realign with your creator. And there's more, it goes deeper, but that's the overall, that's the first phase, right? And then the second phase is to redefine your identity with purpose. Right. And I share this all the time where my only purpose in life for me at the time was just, wife, mother, nurse, and I couldn't see myself doing anything beyond nursing because I'm just like, this is all I ever wanted to do. This was my dream career. So why is it that I feel torn? Like, I feel like this isn't it. I can't do this for another 30 years. And I just really wanted a sense of freedom and fulfillment. And literally just being able to go through that first phase of realigning with my creator for clarity, I got so much clarity on who God was calling me. He was calling me a speaker. He was calling me a business owner. He was calling me an entrepreneur. He was calling me an author, right? He was calling me a YouTuber, a content creator. There's so much. And so it's like I was literally boxing myself into this one thing. And literally the revelation God gave me just recently, this was probably about 3 weeks ago by now, where literally I remember I was just in quiet time with the Lord. And I remember just saying, God, I just felt really boxed into the 4 corners of the 4 walls of the hospital, right? And I just was like, man, I always say I felt like the walls were closing in on me. And literally the Lord was like, in quiet time with him 3 weeks ago, he's like, you are still a nurse, right? You're still a nurse. But you're no longer nursing within the 4 walls of the hospital. Now you're nursing the 4 corners of the world. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And it's so powerful when God speaks, because it's just like the way he speaks, it's like, man, it's like a whole nother level, a whole nother revelation. Because it's like, wow, God, I see what you were doing. And to know that I have women, reaching out to me. One of my clients, she's in Germany, and I'm gonna read some of the poem that she said to me. She's like, thank you for that beautiful heart. You brightened my world, and I am no more in the dark. My life has changed since I met you, and I know it's just the start. And it's more in detail, but it's just like to know that she's all the way in Germany, and she's like literally writing me such beautiful poetry because she really feels like, I've helped her, and this is just from showing up in my purpose. And now I'm helping her to step into her purpose and to see her as how God sees her. And you know who you are if you're watching. Okay. And so I love you girls so much. And so, yeah, so it's just like, and the other night, I was actually having a bad night. And I literally just re-listened to that poem over and over and over again. And I'm just like, all right, this is it. This is it. It's like to know that I am serving on this level and to help, and it's just, God is good. God is good. And so you have to understand that mastery comes with selling something that you've lived through, selling something that you truly believe in, right? It's selling something that truly aligns with your soul, right? With your purpose. It aligns with your soul, your mind, your will, your emotions, everything is behind it. This is what you want to be selling, something that you've mastered, okay? And so now we're going to go ahead and jump into the third. Oh, and there was a pointer that I wanted to make with this. So with the mastery, just in case you don't know how to discover your purpose, and you just want a quick read, I literally created on my live stream on what day was it? Day 23 and day 24. I created a how to start a purpose-driven business ebook and workbook. If you look at the video, I literally showed you step by step how you can create a ebook and a workbook, and it's on the topic of how to start a purpose-driven business. And so, yeah, you can definitely check those days out as well. And so now we're going to go ahead and jump into point number 3 that I really wanted to make here. And you have to understand that sales is art. There's an art to selling and there's science to selling as well, right? There's art and science. And so you have to understand that selling is the art of selling is really connecting with people emotionally, right? People people buy people when you're people purchase off of emotions. They think about it later, right? It's mostly like emotional purchases. They feel like buying, right? They feel like purchasing because you're speaking to their emotions. And that's the also point on the point prior to this, which was mastery. It's like if you don't if you've never been through what your clients have been through or your customers or whatever service you're providing or product you're providing, if you've never gone through what they're currently going through, you won't understand how to speak to them, right? And so this is why model signifies understanding your avatar, right? Who is the model? Who's the person that you're speaking to? Typically, it's you like 3 years ago, right? It's your old self. You're speaking to your old self. Like, who is that model? What are the emotions that they're going through? You have to be able to speak to their pain points and be able to connect with them on an emotional level. That is the art of sales. That is the art of selling. All right. And so you have to fully be able to understand them. You have to be able to, like, storytelling is huge. Storytelling is so vital. Like, people connect to you through your story. And so you have to understand that too. All right. You have to have an emotional connection. And so, who is your model? What is your avatar? What are their pain points? What are they currently going through? What are their circumstances? What is the trial that they're currently going through? Right? You have to be able to relate to that. You have to understand and know your model. And also with the model, right? I wanted to say that you want to model like how big businesses get their sales, right? How do they sell? Big businesses, they do so much research on buyer psychology. They understand like who their target audience is and how to truly sell to them. What are their triggers, right? What are their desires? What are their wants? What do they truly want? I know for me, when I felt stuck, I wanted freedom. And that's why I'm always speaking on like really being able to have that life of freedom. And that's what I'm so passionate about because that is truly what I'm living now, right? I don't have to be bound to a time clock. I make money passively, right? I make money, like, yes, I'm taking you on the journey of literally, my first 100, serving my first 100 women inside of Faithology University, my coaching community. But I also have other streams of income. I still have my product-based business. I still have, digital products and stuff like that. And, other, money's coming in. So it's really important to have multiple streams, right? But I'm just taking you along this journey here, right? And so you want to really be able to, like I said, connect with your avatar, connect and model the big businesses that really target pain points and like buying decisions and just understanding overall the art of selling, which is emotional intelligence and storytelling. All right. And so now we're going to go ahead and jump into point number 4, which is mentorship. And so selling, it gets better when you are under mentorship, right? And so this is more like the science of sales, right? We talked about the art of sales being emotional. And so now mentorship, it helps mentorship, like having coaches and having mentors to help you. Like I have a business mindset coach. Like, I mean, if you have all right, don't hire a coach that does not have a coach. Like that's just a word of advice. All right. You want to make sure that your coach is someone who's actually practicing what they are preaching, right? They're living out what they want to sell you something that they're not even partaking in. So make that make sense. And so you want to make sure that you have mentorship, right? And so my coach was able to point out so much things that I was overlooking within my business, right? And it's like, it's good to have other eyes on your business. And I have another coach, and she was able to point out, like, yeah, just more skills, more things that I could be doing within my business. And I'm just like, I never thought about that. That's a really good idea, And so obviously, take it back to the Lord, pray on it. And if it's a go, it's a go. But it's just like, it's really important to have mentorship to help you with your sales and to help you to do so like the science of sales is more like the data driven stuff, right? The back end stuff, like the boring stuff. I consider the boring stuff, like the techie stuff. setting up the email funnels and setting up, like understanding your analytics and all these things, right? All these things. And that to me doesn't really drive me that much. I do love signs, but not signs of sales, but it is all good. I have to learn to appreciate it. And as a business coach, that part of it doesn't excite me as much. But I know the importance of it, right? And so I learn. And another thing too with mentorship, man, this is so powerful. One thing that I always do is I'm constantly learning, constantly growing, literally constantly reading books. Like I'm literally listening to a book by is it Dan Sullivan? It's oversubscribed. If you're a business owner, you should listen to that book. It's really good. I'm halfway through it. Where is it? I don't want to get the name wrong. What is his name? Daniel Priestley. See, I would have messed it up. It's Daniel Priestley, oversubscribed. It's really a really good read. And so, yeah, I'm constantly reading, constantly learning, constantly growing. I've invested thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, tens and hundreds of thousands into coaching and mentorship to excel, right? Excel at what it is that I'm doing, what I'm called to do, right? God has gifted me with this assignment, and I'm going to do my part to really execute this assignment efficiently and effectively to the best of my ability. And so I pour in and I get mentorship, and yeah, and so your sales can improve through your mentorship as well. All right. And so I want to move along because yeah, I'm not editing this and I'm already over 20 minutes here. And so, okay. So what number was this? 1, 2, 3, 4. This was number 4. So now we're going into 5. Okay. So I actually have to type this last one out because God gave me that one after the fact. All right, cool. So 5 now, we're on momentum. All right. So sales, you have to understand, comes with consistency. It comes with consistency. You can't stop. You can't try to sell for 2 weeks and then no sales come in and you're like, you know what? I give up. I'm going back to my job, like to live miserably for the rest of my life. No, it comes with consistency. Don't give up. Keep going no matter what. Keep showing up. And that literally brings me over to a beautiful message that I received from one of my new clients. Like I'm telling you, I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Like I could cry, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just so blessed by the women that I get to serve, right? And just the work that I get to do, truly. And I just want to share what she said to me. So she was like, this is her speaking, and she's like, I was so inspired because whether the room had 1, 3, or none, you have been showing up and you have been obedient, and that's a blessing. And that's going to encourage someone that whether people are there or not, you're going forth in what you've been called to do. And God will send who he needs to send your way. Oh, that was so powerful. And she went on to say more things that were just so beautiful to me. But it just shows, like, with momentum, keep the consistency, because when people see that you're showing up and you're consistent because you know that this is your calling, you know this is God's purpose for your life, they see that and they're inspired by it, right? And so you want to just keep that momentum in your sales, keep that momentum in your business, because your clients are watching and they're inspired by you. So when you feel like, oh man, I'm showing up and only one person, and she was mentioning the live streams that I've been doing. See, I'm on day 20, I'm on day 27. Oh, actually, yeah, I'm on day 26 really, but whatever. I pre-programmed that, my bad. It's all good. So I'm really on day 26, but like I've been showing up. Tomorrow's going to be day 27, and I have been, like she said, whether it's one person in the room, 3 people in the room, nobody in the room. I think the most I've gone to is 12 people at one time in my live streams. And like, regardless, like I am literally showing up no matter what, right? And I'm pouring out. Even if there's no one there, I'm pouring out anyway, because I am called. Like, if God called you to it, if God is the only one in the room with you, speak. All right. Do what it is that he's calling you to do. All right. And so yeah, that was 5, right? That was 5. And I wanted to also share for day 25, for you to be really consistent and to keep the momentum, I wanted to share this. Day 25, I created a content creation calendar, and you're gonna see me do it live on day 25 if you go back to watch it. And that calendar is going to be in my coaching community. You'll have free access to that if you want. But then I'll also make it available for purchase at some point too. But that content creation calendar, you could actually just go back and watch it and just listen to the nuggets that I was sharing in regards to just creating a content calendar that allows you to have more of a systemized and a simplified way to create content. And this way you're just showing up, right? You're showing up week after week, day after day, and delivering valuable content for your clients. And so, yeah, so I wanted to share that as well. This is another way for you to stay consistent. All right. And so last but not least, this is the one that the Lord had me share. And so, share. This is the one the Lord had me add last minute, because initially it was 5, but then, I added this one, and it's to move, right? It's to move. And so what I mean by move is move out the way. Move out the way and allow God to move. Don't, if you are so focused on getting sales and you come off with this needy energy, people could sense that. No one wants someone that's needy for a sale. Like, I don't need anyone's sale. I just want to serve. I know this is my God-given calling. I want to pour out. I want to help as many women as I truly can. And so this is why I even created this series. And I'm so excited about it, because it's like, I want to be real with you, and I want to take you behind, like I said, to show you the peaks and to show you the valleys. Because not every time that, not every day you're going to be making a sale, right? At least not in the beginning, at least, right? And so you want to make sure that you are showing up and you're really moving out of the way and really detaching yourself, right? Detaching yourself from the outcome, detaching yourself from this number goal or this income goal, and thinking that, you're just wanting this number, like this money, like this is all you're in for it. No. Move out the way and allow God to have his hand on it, right? Allow God. You do what you can in the natural, and then you move and you allow God to move. And just like my client said, she said the last thing she said, she's like, you're going forth in what you've been called to do, and God will send who he needs to send your way. And so I just thought that was so beautiful, because it's so important to detach. I was always someone who was, once I made a goal in my mind, I was so fixated on that number or fixated on whatever goal that was in my life at the moment. But it's like, no, let go, move out of the way, detach, and allow God to do his part. Like, you can't move God. You can't predict when it's going to happen, right? You can be hopeful, you can have faith, but you still have to have faith and trust God that it's going to happen in his divine timing, right? You do what you got to do and allow God to do what he has to do. All right. And so that is, how you can also receive sales. Sales come when you move out of God's way. All right. So sales come when you move out of God's way. And so let us do a quick recap. And so number 1 is, for the 6 tips, I should say, the 6 tips for simplifying your sales strategy is, number 1 is mindset, switching your mindset and understanding that sales isn't sleazy, but sales truly is serving. Okay. And then number 2 was mastery. You want to sell something that you truly have mastered. It's something that you've lived through, something that you believe in, right? That's what I mean by mastery. Like, understand that what you're selling works because you actually lived it, right? You actually lived it, so you can sell with conviction, knowing that I'm only here to help you, to serve you, to make your life better. You're the one that's stuck. You're the one that, is going through that trial right now. And so I've already triumphed over that. And so I created a trail for you. And I'm on here testifying and telling you, like, listen, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stay miserable. You don't have to stay in debt. You don't have to stay overweight. You don't have to stay whatever it is that you're selling, right? You're there to serve, right? And you're there and you're selling something that you've already mastered. It's something you've already done yourself. All right. You're not selling anyone else's course or anyone else's products, because that doesn't come with conviction, right? Sometimes a lot of people get caught up in that. And then they're like stuck with this thing, and they're like, I don't even know how to sell it because I didn't create it. Right. And so this is why I'm so convicted when it comes to me helping you to be able to create your own, create from your own life experiences, create from your own gifts, from your own talents, from your own skills, right? From your own education, from your own expertise, from your own life lessons, leveraging the lessons in your life and creating something that you've already mastered, something you've overcome. And so that's number 2. The third tip that I wanted to share for simplified sales strategy is, it's to model, right? It's to model selling. You have to understand your model, and model the big brands that are actually selling from a sense of psychology, right? Modeling what they're doing, and also having a model as an avatar, understanding that you can speak to the pain points because you've been there. You can speak to the vision that they want to achieve, right? You can speak to the outcome that they want to have because you are there now, right? You're not selling something that you're not familiar with. You are selling, and you can connect emotionally and sell from like really have the art of selling, because you could connect emotionally. You can have the storytelling because you have a story attached to what it is that you're selling. All right. And so that's number 3. Number 4 is mentorship, right? Sales increase when you have mentorship, whether that be a coach, a mentor, or like books, learning, podcasts, YouTube videos, like someone to mentor you, who's actually where you want to be, right? And you can, be mentored by them. And so mentorship will also increase your sales. It's a simplified sales strategy to help you to be able to excel. And like I said, I've invested thousands upon thousands upon thousands into coaching and mentorship and books, and just time, just learning, listening, growing, reading books and all the things. And so, so that's number 4. And now we're going to jump into 5, which is momentum. Sales come through consistency, right? You want to keep a consistent, like, momentum going with sales, right? Keep the momentum going. Like my client said, even when no one was there, I was still showing up. Keep that momentum. This is how the sales come in. You got to keep showing up for the people you're called to serve. Don't worry about if no one is there. Don't worry about it. They're coming. They're there. They're probably not there in the physical yet, but they're there in the spiritual, right? And so stay focused on your assignment, and don't allow like the facts, like what you see in around you, right? Don't let what you see in the facts trick you out of your spot, and to make you feel like, lose your faith. No, have faith, have momentum to keep showing up and doing what God has called you to do. All right. And so, and then that leads me to the 6th and final step, and that's move out of the way. All right. Move out of the way and allow God to have his divine timing on when the sales will come in. Right. God is going to send your clients. He will, but just trust him. Do your part and allow God to do his part. Okay. And so those are the 6 steps to a simplified sales strategy. If you want my content creation planner, you can actually watch day 25, where I broke it down, and it's I'm going to put it in a link in the description at some point once I create it. I just have to create the link for it if you want to actually have it, or it's actually going to also be inside of the community, my coaching community. And so if you want more information on that, that'll be in the description as well. And so I want to actually point you to the video where I created that. Okay. And I think it's over. Yeah, it's over here. And so go ahead and watch how to really be able to simplify your sales strategy by creating a content creation, a system, a flow for you to show up consistently creating content. And so I'm going to tell you, just as God told me, put one foot in front of the other, step out on faith, and trust God for the next step. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.